This is N. Venkat Kishore, Department of Mechanical Engineering, DBH Institute of Technology, Kavali. Hi students, today we are dealing with a new chapter called Gears and Gear Trains. As we know, in the previous chapter we discussed about the belt and ropes, but these are used for the transmission of the motion and the power between the two shafts, but there is a slipping of the elements, and this will reduces the velocity ratio of the system. To against these, we are developed a mechanism called gear mechanism. This is definite velocity ratio is to be developed and in the positive drive by means of gates or toothed wheels. A gear drive is also provided when the distance between the driver and the follower is very smaller. Then the motion and power transmitted by gears is like kinematically equivalent to the transmission by friction wheels. In order to understand how the motion will be transmitted by two toothed wheels is going to be explained here. Let us consider a wheel A and B which is mounted on the shaft, which are having sufficient rough surface and pressing against to each other. The A is keyed to the rotating shaft and the B is to the shaft to be rotated. Therefore, a little consideration will show that when the wheel A is rotated by a rotating shaft, it will rotate the wheel B in the opposite direction. That is, here the wheel B will be rotated by the wheel A so long as the tangential force exerted by the wheel A, which doesn't exceed the maximum frictional resistance between the two wheels. But when the tangential force exceeds the frictional resistance, there is a slipping will takes place between these two wheels. Thus, the friction drive is not a positive drive. In order to avoid this type of friction by slipping is to be avoided, so we have to give a number of projections called teeth as shown in figure here over the each wheel. So these will fitted corresponding to each other, and a frictional wheel with the teeth cut on the known as toothed wheel or gear. The usual connection to show the tooth wheel is given by their pitch circles. Then coming to advantages and disadvantages of gear train. There is a advantages is transmits exact velocity ratio and transmits the larger power with high efficiency. But disadvantage is the manufacturing of gear requires special tools and equipment. The error in cutting the tooth may causes the vibration and noises during the operation. The tip of the gear teeth is very sharp and it should be a certain angle with respect to the opponent gear also. Okay, these are the disadvantages of gear train. Classification of toothed wheels are based on the position of axis of the shafts. That is, the axis of the two shafts between which the motion is to be transmitted. It may be parallel or intersecting or non-intersecting and non-parallel. Go for the example, when the two parallel and coplanar shafts which are connected by gear system called spur gates, and the arrangement is known as spur gearing. These gears have a teeth parallel to the axis of the wheels. This is a gearing system. The two non-intersecting and non-parallel gears which are connected called screw bevel gears or spherical gears, and this arrangement is called screw bevel gearing or spherical gearing. This type of gearing is also have a line contact, and the rotation of the axis generated the two pitch surfaces is called hyperboloids. These are the graphical representation of spur gears and bevel gearing and spiral gears. Then according to the peripheral velocity of the gears, the arrangement of gearing system is divided as three, that is low velocity gearing system, medium velocity gearing system and high velocity gearing system. The gears having a velocity less than 3 meters per second are termed as low velocity, and 3 to 15 meters per second known as medium velocity gears, and more than 15 meters per second, the velocity of the gear is 15 meter per second, is known as high speed gears. Then the last topic is according to the type of gearing. Basically, the type of gearing may be classified based on the arrangement of the gearing system is external gearing, internal gearing and rack and pinion. In external gearing, the gears of the two shafts mesh externally with each other, and the larger of these two wheels known as spur gear and the smaller wheel is known as pinion. And in external gearing, the motion of two wheels is always unlike. If it is one wheel is rotating in clockwise and the opposite wheel will rotate in opposite direction. The spur is rotating clockwise, the pinion will rotate in anti-clockwise. Coming to internal gearing, the gears of two shafts mesh internally with each other. This is the arrangement of internal gearing. Here the larger gear is known as annular gear and the smaller is known as pinion. In an internal gearing, the motion of the two wheels are like, that is annular gear and pinion gear will rotate in the same direction. Then sometimes the gear of a shaft meshes externally and internally with gears in a straight line. Such type of gearing system is known as rack and pinion. The straight line gear is known as rack and the circular gear is known as pinion. A little consideration is that in the rack and pinion arrangement, the rotary motion is transferred to linear motion and vice versa. Then according to the position of teeth on the gear surface, the teeth on the gear surfaces may be straight line or inclined or curved. These are, as we discussed in the earlier, the spur gears have straight teeth, whereas the helical gears have their teeth as inclined, and in spiral gears the teeth are curved. Then finding the condition for constant velocity ratio of toothed wheels called law of gearing. For explaining these, we are considering a portion of two teeth which are on the wheels of pinion and spur gear. That is, here this is the diagram representing the two gears. This is called a one gear and this is the another gear. Let the two teeth come in contact at the point Q and the wheels are rotating in the direction of anti-clockwise. That is, one is anti-clockwise and the oppositely another is clockwise. Let T be the tangent passing through the point and Mn be the common normal to the curves which are at the point of contact Q. From these centers of pinion and the annular or spur, draw a O1M, and O2N which are perpendicular to the normal Mn. A little consideration is that the point Q moves in the direction of QC when considering the point on the wheel 1, and the point Q moves in the direction with respect to D, that is QD, when considered as a point on the wheel 2. Let V1 and V2 be the velocities of the point Q on the wheels 1 and 2. If the teeth are to be remains constant, then the components of these velocities along the common normal must be equal. Therefore V1 cos alpha is equals to V2 cos beta. Therefore V is equals to omega into O1Q into cos alpha is equals to omega 2 into O2 Q cos beta. Therefore omega 1 by omega 2 is equals to O2n by O1m, the distance between O2n by O1m. And from the triangles O2np and O1pm, based on that, calculating the values of omega 1 and omega 2, this is the formula will be like this. From the above equation, we are calculating that angular velocity ratio is inversely proportional to the ratios of the distance of the point P from the centers O1 and O2. In order to find out some constant angular velocity ratio for all the positions of the wheels, the common point P must be fixed, that is called a pitch point for the two wheels. In order to finding these, designing the contact between a pair of tooth must always passes through the pitch point. This fundamental condition is called law of gearing, which is to be satisfied while designing any profile of the teeth for gear wheels. And also there is a condition is that omega 1 by omega 2 is equals to d2 by d1, that is equals to t2 by t1, which are of teeths and which are of pitch circle diameters of the respective wheels. As we know, in the law of gearing, that is a formula we have find out as omega 1 by omega 2 is O2p by O1p. In the same way, the velocity of sliding of a teeth must be at the contact of two teeths of a wheels, that is Q, which are occurred at the point of common tangent TT to the toothed gates. Then the velocity of this sliding is the velocity of one gear relative to matting with the common tangent at the point of contact. Therefore, the velocity of the point Q over the wheel 1 along the common tangent TT is represented by EC. From the similar triangles of QEC and O1MQ, we find it out the omega 1. Similarly, the velocity of point Q when considering with the wheel 2 along the common tangent, based on that it is represented by ED. From the similar triangles also we find out omega 2. We know Vs is the velocity of sliding at Q, therefore Vs is the ED minus EC. This is called CD value. By finding these, we get the velocity of sliding at Q is omega 1 plus omega 2 into QP. This is the condition for the velocity of sliding is proportional to the distance of the point of contact from the pitch point.